The average Social Security recipient should expect an increase of $146 per month beginning with the January 2023 payment. The Bureau of Labor Statistics will be releasing the final data needed to make the calculation for the cost of living adjustment in the middle of October, and shortly thereafter we'll be getting the finalized cost of living adjustment. However, we've got it pretty well pegged down with 2 of the 3 months reported. So the cost of living adjustment is calculated with July through September inflation, and we've already gotten July's inflation data in August and August inflation data in September. We're now awaiting September's inflation data in October. Now, right now, the Social Security policy analysts are estimating an 8.7% cost of living adjustment, which would actually be the largest that we've seen in 41 years. But there is a range. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Now, this estimate has actually fallen from a high of 9.6% in August because we've seen unexpected drops in the CPIW over the past few months. However, many are now arguing that CPIW isn't the most effective way to calculate the cost of living increases that seniors are seeing because it's very heavily focused on things like gasoline, which have come down over the past few months, but much less focused on things like housing and food, which seniors have actually labeled as their number 1 and number 2 primary concerns. And in fact, we're still seeing increases in price of housing and food over the past few months. So the average Social Security income across the United States is about $1,656, which is just under $19,900 annually. So this $146 per month increase would be for the average. However, you can take your current benefits and multiply times 1.087 to get your actual increase. Now, the average for disability recipients will be an increase of about $120 per month and $116 per month expected increase for the average survivor income. Now, this is desperately needed because Social Security policy analysts have also noted that Social Security purchasing power is down about 40% since 2000. And in fact, Social Security makes up around 30% of income for Americans over 62. However, there is also good news coming out this year, and in my last video on the Social Security cost of living increase, when we thought it was going to be in the 9.6% range, many of the comments were noting that a lot of times the increase in benefits is ultimately taken up by increases in Medicare Part A, B, and D premiums. However, we are expected to see Part B premiums decline for about 3%, and this will be the first time since 2012 that we've seen Part B decline. Now, this is actually expected due to lower drug costs and unusually high increases in 2022. So I believe in 2022, we saw a Part B increase of about 14.4%. We're getting a little bit of that back. That is one silver lining along with the cost of living increase. So to talk about the range that I referred to earlier, the CPIW fell 0.1% in July, and in August, CPIW fell 0.2%. So September is actually expected to drop anywhere from 0.2 to 0.4% month over month. If we see the largest 0.4% decline, we would actually see a cost of living adjustment as low as 8.5% because we've seen a larger decrease in the CPIW. However, the more realistic 0.3 and 0.2% declines would lead to an 8.6% or an 8.7% cost of living adjustment, respectively, with 8.7 being the most likely number, and that's coming with a 0.2% decline in the inflation reading from September CPIW. Now, separate from any cost of living increase, there's actually been a bill that's been put in front of Congress for Social Security recipients to receive an additional $2,400 per year. This was put forward by Peter DeFazio and Bernie Sanders, and it would essentially add an extra $200 to each monthly check for anyone receiving benefits or who will be receiving benefits next year by turning 62. We haven't seen any movement in this since June. In fact, it had just been announced when I made my last video, but it is still sitting in front of Congress and it's something that could move along. If that was passed along, that would also be expected to take place in 2023. So certainly if that's something that moves further within legislation and looks like it's going to be passed, we'll make an entirely separate video on that. But that would be a much welcome increase for seniors overall, having, of course, the $146 per month average increase stacked on top of an additional $200 per month or $2,400 per year from that bill. So that's the most up-to-date information that we have right now. Again, middle of October is when we will see the final CPI-W inflation data that's needed to move the needle towards nailing down the final cost of living adjustment. And once we have that, I'll make an update video. So if this video brings you value, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with any statement you have, and thanks for stopping by. Catch you in the next one.